Hey everybody, welcome to the Scentatar Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel, you've come to the right place. This is where we explore fragrances and smells. If you ever want to learn about colognes and perfumes, you've come to the right place. And of course, if you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell right beside that subscribe button. So let's jump straight into the video. Let's not waste any time. Today we're going to be talking about Mugler cologne. And here's the bottle. So the presentation, the bottles looks fairly nice. Looks a little bit new age. I don't know if I'd say classy, but it's a nice bottle and a nice packaging overall. So the bottle's kind of simple, but it's a little bit different. It has creases in the sides here. I don't want to spend too much time on presentation as always. I think some of y'all might love it and some of y'all might not. But it comes in with a little plastic kind of cap that snaps in place. Nothing too fancy, but you can refill these bottles, which is wonderful, and you could reuse this if you for some reason wanted to. I'll let you see a demonstration of the sprayer real quick. So the sprayer works really well, at least in my opinion. If this, I think this is really like a gold standard of what a sprayer should be. So and this is a fragrance that retails for about $80 or so, and you can find at discounters for 30, maybe less. So this fragrance overall is not too pricey, it's not too expensive. But what is this fragrance all about? So you might have heard about this fragrance because it's compared to Original Vetiver by Creed. But before I talk about that, let's talk about the fragrance itself. What does it smell like? What kind of performance do we get out of it? And how does it smell to other people? So this fragrance smells slightly green. When you first spray it, you're going to smell a little bit of lime in the background. That lime doesn't stick around very long. Most of the fragrance, at least to my nose, is a neroli. And this is a very well-rounded neroli. Neroli can smell very soapy and very clean, and you definitely get that here. This fragrance is famously compared to Green Irish Spring. It's a certain kind of soap, and it does smell that way, but it's an invigorating type of soapiness. It's not powdery, it's not kind of dense or heavy in any way. It's kind of a clean smell that's kind of invigorating because it has a little bit of citrus behind it, and that neroli almost has almost a sharpness to it. So, what is this fragrance all about? It smells a little bit green, of course, and it smells soapy. It smells very, very fresh. It doesn't smell like the ocean or anything, so don't be thinking that. But what kind of environments can we wear this fragrance, and how is it going to appeal to other people? Now, with my skin, this is a 80 or below fragrances. We tend to like to wear fragrances that are citrusy and clean for hot weather, but this one has a little bit more character. It's a little bit more well-rounded. I think this fragrance, at least in my opinion, does not do well with high heat, and especially doesn't do well with sweat. If I ever, was sweating when wearing this fragrance, and with my skin chemistry, it started to become animalic in a strange way. But if it was 80 or below, 70 below, especially 60 or 70, degrees around there, this fragrance did the job, and it was just beautiful. This fragrance, again, is compared to Original Vetiver by Creed. But again, we're going to get to that in a second. How does this smell to other people? What do people think about this fragrance? I got mixed reviews, honestly. Although I love this fragrance and I think it's a great skin scent, a great easy to wear fragrance. Definitely a fragrance for the professional, for business. I can't recommend this enough. This is a heavy hitter and one of my heavily suggested, along with Versace Pour Homme. So, but to other people, again, if I did get sweaty, it did smell almost rancid, almost animalistic to other people. But if I wasn't sweaty and I was in an air-conditioned, temperature controlled environment, this fragrance did wonders. It simply smells like you're almost not wearing a fragrance. You smell very clean. You smell very fresh. almost like you forgot to wash soap off of you, when you took a shower in the morning. So this fragrance is beautiful for what it does. It is kind of unique in its own way. There's not a lot of fragrances that smell very soapy, and they definitely don't do it this well, this convincingly. So Mugler did a great job. And let's talk about projection performance before we talk about that comparison. Their performance for this kind of fragrance, for a fresh fragrance, it's great. I get 6 hours, maybe even 7 consistently, and for a fresh fragrance that can tend to be 4 hours or even less, that's great for this fragrance. But this fragrance might not smell the most natural, especially if you smell it close to your skin. So then the projection is about arm's length for the most part. For an office scent, for a scent when you might be close to people or fairly close to people, I think it has the right amount of projection. And of course, during the first 30 minutes or so, it's going to be stronger. So this fragrance does the job I think for what it's intended to do very well as a fragrance. This fragrance, I think, is simply one of the best cheapies you could go for if you're looking for something that's carefree, very clean, very fresh, and perhaps you like fragrances, but you don't want to smell like you're, putting on a show or really wearing a fragrance. If you like Lucky Scent by Lucky You, I think this is a step above. Let's talk about Creed Original Vetiver compared to this, what I've been promising the whole time. So, Creed Original Vetiver, it smells more natural. It smells more like vetiver, which vetiver has kind of a distinct, kind of complex almost earthiness to it, but it doesn't smell muddy. It doesn't smell dirty. It smells invigorating in a very interesting way. So this fragrance, to my nose, doesn't have a lot of vetiver. I know the two are compared to one another. Smell-wise, they're not exactly the same, but the overall DNA, the overall smell in the air is similar. This one is more citrusy. This one has better performance. This one is cheaper. So, what do I suggest? Do I suggest you go for this one over Original Vetiver? In my personal opinion, yes, every time. If you want a classy green, very well put together fragrance, I would suggest Boise de Portugal by Creed. I will make another review about that one another day. But if you want clean soapiness, a little bit of a complex nature, non-offensive, simply almost as fresh as you can ever be, this is what you want. This is the kind of fragrance you might need for certain situations where, people don't want to smell colognes or perfumes, but you want to smell very good. This is kind of that, if you wanted to go, not spy, but incognito with your fragrance. If that makes sense, I hope it does. So, hope this review was helpful. If I had to give an overall review or rating to this fragrance, I think I'd have to give it a 7.5. It's really tempting me to give it an 8, though. This is simply one of the best cheap fragrances I think you can buy. And it gets attention here and there, but I don't think it gets enough attention. I think if you're new to fragrances, that you should try to sample this. Or if this sounds really good to you, you might want to take the leap on blind buying. So this is definitely a good fragrance overall for the money. So I am glad that you've been here. Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. Let me know if you think it can stand up to the Creed quality at all. Let me know in the comments below if you like these reviews, my style, my energy. So thank you so much for being here at the Centaur Fragrance channel. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share this video even, and hit that notification bell so you get notified of my regular content. So I'll see you guys next time on the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for being here, and bye.